Hello and welcome to UX TV powered by Data Meaning. My name is Chris Allen and today I will be talking about grid theory and the practice of using grids in design. Let's start off by defining a grid. In design, it is the foundation for solving visual problems and acts as the invisible glue that holds a design together. By using a grid, a design can have rhythm, meter, and a defined proportion of visual elements. So why is it important to include a grid in your design? Well, designing with an underlying grid will help give your design order and credibility rather than just placing visual elements on your canvas at random. Using a grid helps support the message you are trying to communicate by providing the foundation to arrange text and illustrations systematically and logically, giving structure to your material so that it is easy to consume. For example, a client approached us with this document and we were tasked with redesigning it to make it more clear and legible. You can see that the document does not follow a clear grid structure, and as a result, it is hard to read, there is no clear hierarchy of information, and your eyes may tend to wander around the page in search of information. So we took the document and applied a grid to it, and along with typography and color, we were able to make it easier to read. There is a clear path of information, starting with the dealer information on the top left and moving top to bottom and left to right. By showing the grid, you can see that each section fits neatly into the grid and has its own space. Now that we know what a grid is and the purpose that it serves, let's talk a bit about grid theory, starting with the golden ratio, one of the most well-known theories. It's been used for thousands of years in art, architecture, and design, and in short, it describes the symmetrical relationship between two proportions. It's also known to have a 1 to 1.61 ratio. Some examples of its use are the Parthenon in Greece on the left, and the Sacrament of the Last Supper by Salvador Dali on the right. The golden ratio has been overlaid each piece to show how certain elements match up to the diagram. How can we apply this theory in design today? Well, say you are building a website. You can use the 1 to 1.61 ratio to divide your page into two proportional sections. To do this, take your content width, which in this example we have a content width of 960 pixels, and divide it by 1.61, which will give us 596 pixels. This will be the main section of your content area. By subtracting 596 from 960, you will get the width of the second section of your content area. And that's how you can apply the golden ratio to your site or application. Another theory that can be used in design is the rule of thirds. This theory is often used in photography as a way to make photographs more visually interesting. By dividing the canvas into 3 rows and 3 columns, we have lines that create intersections or points of interest. Placing content on or around these lines can give your composition more tension, energy, or interest. For example, we have applied this rule to one of our dashboards, and you'll notice that some important features fall on or around the lines and intersections, such as the break between the title area and the content area, and the graph that falls on the bottom line. Studies have shown that the user's eyes tend to focus on the intersecting areas. The area that the user focuses on first, and for the longest time, is the top left. And by reading top to bottom and left to right, we can see that the percentage of the user's focus gradually decreases, with the bottom being the least. This is important to keep in mind when creating a landing page or a page that does not scroll, because it could help determine where certain information is placed. To learn more about grid theory, and how to implement grids into your design, you can use the reference links provided below. Thank you for watching and see you next time on UX TV powered by Data Meaning.